All right, hey, what's up, guys? Coach Mac, playfastfootball.blogspot.com. It's my first blog with a new job. I'm a head coach at Orange Park High School in Orange Park, Florida. Got hired about a week ago, so I'm really excited to get some things rolling over here. It's back in the county where I spent my first 15 years coaching as a head coach, so it's a little bit closer to home. I feel a little bit more comfortable, being in this area because I'm more familiar with the football in this area. And, I'm really excited getting ready to get things going. I had a great chance to meet and talk with a lot of the guys on Texas High School Football Chat on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. A lot of great football coaches on there. A lot of guys that I didn't even know were out there that follow the blog or watch some of the videos. So I appreciate meeting all you guys. Appreciate some of the information that I learned from you guys. You guys got some really good ideas. And I look forward to sharing every Wednesday in those ideas with the with the rest of the community that's out there. So today we're going to get started and we're going to talk about the flexibility of the dart play, the tackle wrap play. The dart is something that I have not run in a couple of years. We used to run it about 4, 5, 6 years ago. Gone away from the dart and went to more zone veer stuff for our read game. But in studying some recent local college ball in the Southeast and then some of the top offenses in the country, I'm starting to see the dart kind of make its comeback a little bit. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to draw it up as a flexible play that you can do 3 different ways, to where you can start it off as a triple option theory, turn it into an RPO, and then turn it into a read theory accompanied with the jet. All right, so what we're going to do first, we're going to talk about the dart play, all right, in general itself. All right, what we're going to do is, all right, on the front side with the tackle, you've got 2 choices. All right, you can either base block that tackle or you can possibly pass set him to get him to come up the field. All right, but that tackle is going to have number 2 on the line of scrimmage. Your front side play side guard is going to have number 1 on the line of scrimmage. If number 1 is an inside shade, then he's going to want to double team that shade, all right, with your center. All right, so now your center and your play side guard are going to double that 1, and in this look, we're going to work it straight up to the Mike linebacker. On the back side, your guard is going to have number 1 on the line of scrimmage. Right now, he's covered in an outside shade. All right, he's got a 3 technique on him. The 3 technique is away from the play side, but he's number 1 on the line of scrimmage, and we are pulling the tackle, so we must make sure we account for number 1. So right now, we're going to have to base block that 3 technique right there. We're going to take this tackle right here, all right, and we are going to, I would like myself, depending on how good of an athlete he is, for right now, we'll talk about skip pulling him and not old-fashioned trap pull, turn to the sideline. We'll talk about skip pulling him out here and up into the hole for that front side fold will linebacker, okay? We're going to have a regular zone read mesh here with the tailback, all right, depending on where he is, probably toes and heels, maybe a little deeper, all right? If we move him up a little bit, all right, to make it a little bit more consistent with maybe running some stretch or some things across the quarterback's face, all right, we're going to go probably position step, lateral inside here. All right, second step will be some type of crossover to get us downhill in the front side track to follow that play side tackle. It becomes an isolation play with the tackle becoming the ISO lead blocker, so this back really needs to understand, all right, after the mesh here, he's probably going to want to follow that tackle up into the hole. If it's an open B gap, we'd love to run it at the open B gap. We should have a nice double down, get the 5 up the field, create a window for that tackle to run through. Tailback should be following, all right, that pulling tackle up through the hole right there. All right, your quarterback is going to go ahead and read the 5 technique C-gap player on the backside. All right, out here what we're going to do is we're going to run a key screen where we're going to back out our number 2 receiver. All right, so what's going to happen is your quarterback is going to have, all right, give, pull, read on the end. All right, he's going to have a give, pull, read on the end. If that end squeezes down with the inside release of the tackle and the quarterback pulls, he will now have a triple option, all right, keep pitch or keep throw phase off of this overhang defender sitting right here, all right, with a two high shell. He'll have it, all right, give, pull off the end, all right, keep pitch or keep throw off of the overhang Sam linebacker right here with your number 2 receiver backing out. All right, working away from that overhang so we make it a nice clear decision once we get the ride and decide here. All right, if our quarterback does pull, we want to get downhill and attack that Sam linebacker. We're creating width with the key 2 screen. So now that should be an easy read for the quarterback. That Sam plays me. I throw the key screen. That Sam doesn't play. All right. That Sam widens. I keep the ball up inside. All right. Out of this look, most of the time you're going to get the Sam playing the QB. The ball is going to go to the key screen. We got to get it stalk block out there. All right. The regular dart play, that is a triple option theory. You want it to run to the open B gap side. All right, you would love to run it to the open B gap side to get the double team on the 1 technique. All right, doesn't have to be run that way, but that's the way you would love to run it in the perfect world. All right, so again, it's base or pass set on the front side 5, double the 1. If it was a 3 here, it would be base on the 3. Since it's a 1, it's going to be double the 1 straight up to this mic in the box. All right, man on the number 1 on the line of scrimmage here, which is the 3 technique. Pull tackle up for the play side inside linebacker. We're going to mesh with the tailback here. All right, quarterback normally for us, all right, will just take, for us, if he's looking at that left defensive end, my quarterback will just take his right foot, point it right at that defensive end to get my hips pointed to him, and ride him to side right in there. We're not going to jump all over the place with our feet. We're going to make it real easy. Quarterback take the snap, right foot to get my hips and shoulders square to that 5 technique, C-gap defender, ball back to my back hip, ride the side to about my front hip. If I'm going to give, I want to yank that hand out so he can feel the back of my hand on his stomach. If I'm going to pull, I want to throw the elbow into his back so he knows I'm pulling. All right, on the front side here, all right, we would work. All right, on the front side, we would block all front side runs. We're not going to throw on the front side of this. We're not going to throw. You could throw accesses out here. You could have screens tagged out here. For what we do, I like to keep the front side of my run simple and make sure that my receivers block on the front side of all of our runs. I know it's an inside run play, and I know that you've got a pulling tackle for the will so that you can do some different things on the front side. All right, when we're throwing the triple with the key screen on the back side, I want my front side guys to be guys that block so that later on when we get into whether it's power, stretch, ISO, whatever it is, the front side receivers block, the back side guys either run screens or access. All right, another thing you can do real simply out of this is you can switch, you can make it quarterback dart. All right, you can put the tailback over here. Tailback can flash, fake, and then seal for the tackle pulling. He will actually kick out that 5 technique. Quarterback, flash, fake. You got the quarterback running the dart right there. All right, so very simple to get you a little misdirection play if your quarterback's a dude. If that's your guy, quarterback can run the ball with the QB dart. Okay? All right, now, next thing we're going to look at. All right, I'm going to draw it the other way now just to show you how I like to do it or what we like to do in the RPO world. We're going to look in the RPO world a little bit here, run pass option stuff, and now what we're going to do is we're going to run the dart play and we're going to read off an overhang defender. All right, so we're going to read a second level defender as opposed to a first level defender. All right, so now what we're going to do, all right, is we're going to run this dart play, and now we just got to change. We have to actually block the first level guys. So now what we need to do is this tackle, we are going to pull this tackle and we're going to pull him for the mic inside the box. We want to block the 4 down and the mic in the box with our 5 when we're running RPOs. Okay, so we have 5 linemen that we can block. We need to figure out which 5 we're going to block. So on an RPO, we want to block the 4 down and the mic. Great when you're getting 2 high structures with overhang players because that's going to be a great run pass conflict guy right here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to skip pull this tackle. All right, and with an open A gap there, it's going to be a lot tighter pull, and he's going to get up on that mic. All right, this guard now is going to block out on number 2 on the line of scrimmage because now we're not going to read the 5 technique. We're going to read, all right, out here. So now we need to block that 5 technique, so our center needs to go back on the 1 technique. We're going to be base, big on the 3, base, big on the 5. All right, so one of the downfalls to this scheme is to decide that there's a 3 and a 5, you need to have 2 dudes that can win. All right? If you start getting some under movement, some spikes, some twists, the exit, the pirate, whatever the games may be, all right, unless you have 2 war daddies on the front side, this can get you beat a lot. So because it's a man scheme, especially to the 3 and the 5 side, we don't like it a ton. Okay, and that's one of the reasons I got away from it, to be honest with you, is I didn't like the man scheme to the 3 and the 5 side. But if we want to run the dart versus a 5-man box with an RPO, we have to block it that way. We really don't have much of a choice. Okay? So now we're going to run the same mesh with the quarterback and the tailback here. We're going to be lateral step inside, crossover, attack. looking to follow that pulling tackle. Okay? Now what we're going to do to the RPO side is we're going to run corner, and then we're going to run snag by the number 1. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to throw the RPO off the conflicted will linebacker, who is the fall-in B-gap player on runs, but he's also the hook player in this too high, what might be 2 read, palms, cover 2, whatever the concept is. When it's too high like this, all right, if it's not a man structure, he's going to be this immediate hook to curl defender. All right, so that's what we want to do. We want to see if we can get him to fall into the B-gap so we can throw the ball in the area that he vacated. To me, that's what RPOs are. RPOs are throwing the ball into voided zones, zones that were left voided by a player who had run and pass responsibility. Okay, so we're going to read him, we're going to throw snag corner. The reason I like to run snag corner is in this structure, the corner should get this outside corner here to kind of void and drop for the smash route. All right, he's got all of 1 vertical, 1 went inside, 2's working vertical. If he's reading 2 vertical, all right, if they're playing a palms or a 2 read and 2 is the guy he's looking at, if 2 goes vertical, he's going to sink. All right, he wants to help that voided area on the corner route. So by running 2 vert on the corner, we get this guy to sink. Now we can get all the open grass that we're looking for. Does this will linebacker vacate? Does he get out of that hook window? If he gets out of that hook window, all right, and he folds in the box, we're going to throw the snag. If he stays where he is, we're going to go ahead and give the dart up inside, and our 5 are going to go against their 5. All right, your back is going to have to be able to handle that possible Sam linebacker folding in. Now again, to the front side of this run, what I would try and do is I would see if I could work him in to cut that off and get him up top there, or maybe push down into here. Because my rules tell me on the front side of runs, I would like to block those things. Another way to do it though, and a lot of people do it this way, is you could just build in screens or access on this front side, all right, and go ahead and run yourself some type of quick now, all right, to where if this linebacker ever gets close enough into the box that the quarterback thinks he's going to make the play on the tailback on the dart, get out of the RPO, all right, get out of the RPO. Don't tell anybody. You got the 5 in the box blocked up. Don't tell anybody up front what you're doing. All right, get out of the RPO. Just take 1 step back here and throw the now screen to see if you can get this guy to widen out of the box. So you could have now screens or access throws to the front side with your RPO to the back side. All right, a lot of people do it. I don't like to do it as much because I like to limit what my quarterback thinks about and looks at, and I like to keep my rules for my receivers consistent to where I say, hey, listen, you guys are on the front side of a run, you stalk it up. The only thing you need to know is, can we account for the overhang? If so, go to safety. If we can't account for the overhang, then the slot, you need to get down in here and take away that overhang. Might have to cut his split down to do so. All right? You could very easily also, all right, out here, you could very easily run vert stick. All right? You could take 1 on the vert, get him out. You could run 2 on the stick and maybe return outside, okay, to get away from that will linebacker. Also see no reason why you couldn't run vert with some type of rollover speed out. If you can get the corner out there, now what you're doing is you're creating more grass. When this backer folds in, all right, you're creating more grass on that throw to the outside. We're basically trying to throw the ball from the voided area that linebacker left, because he's got 2 responsibilities. He's got a run responsibility and a pass coverage responsibility. Okay? If you get some type of man free, and this argument was on the Texas football chat the other night, if you get some type of 6 in the box, okay, if you get some type of 6 in the box look where it's, you know, some type of man-free look like this, well, with 6 in the box, we can only block 5 of them. So right away, that's going to make your quarterback go to your RPO. If your RPO is being thrown into, all right, if it's being thrown into some type of man coverage, it's just becoming a glorified play-action pass, and now if you're throwing an out route on this guy playing man, it's really not an RPO. To me, it's run-pass option, but it's not a conflict play because this guy had no run conflict. He's just playing man on him. Okay? That's why you may want to have screens or access throws. Okay? If you had some type of system over here to where you could run based on coverage, hitches or fades or verticals, if you get 6 in the box, your quarterback can take the gift route over here. If it was press man, now you can convert these into go routes, All right, and now much like Mazzone talks in stick draw and some of the college guys talk about, take the gift throw that they give you back here. Okay, so that's the reason that you would want to have access throws or screens built in opposite the RPO, because if they give you a six-man box look, a lot of guys say that, well, we just stick with the RPO. Well, it's really not going to become a conflicted play. What it's going to become is a play action. It's going to become play action. This guy is already in the box, so your quarterback's going to pull, and now your quarterback's going to pull into man coverage, which means if one of your guys win and you complete the pass, then good. All right? But in my opinion, that's not RPO. That's not conflicted defender football. It's still run-pass option. I'll agree with that. But that's not conflict defender football. And when we go RPO, we want to live in a world of conflict defenders. How do you conflict a defender? Give him a run and a pass assignment, all right, that you are playing off of in a two-high structure, or even if it's a cover three, one-high structure. If you're going to go 3-by-1 and run stretch with pops behind it, you know, with the vertical by 3, you're telling a guy that if he plays run, we're going to throw it in your pass area. If you drop pass, we're going to run it in the gap you're responsible for. Once they go man-free, I think you're kind of out of business on all that. All right? Again, that is strictly my opinion. We had some guys the other night on that, on Twitter, on that chat. There were a lot of guys that said they love to run their RPOs versus man. All right? I'm not disagreeing with that. All I'm telling you is it becomes more of a play-action pass. To me, it's really not an RPO. All right? Yes, it's a run-pass option, but at the same time, I don't think you're getting exactly what you want out of it, because you're not taking advantage of a conflicted defender. All right, now the last thing we're going to talk about, all right, is tagging the dart play with jet sweep, all right, making it much like power read. It's a front side read. The only difference is the run will go back away from the point of attack guy that you're reading, all right, but what we're going to do here is we're going to block the dart play to the left, okay, so we're going to take this tackle here, all right, and now we're going to block the regular dart with the 5 technique read, okay? So now when we do that, it's a little bit different how we identify those backers, because now the double team, all right, can happen to the mic, all right, and the puller can work up to that play side apex walked out outside linebacker, because we have the 5 we're going to handle now are these 5, because we're going to leave the end alone. The reason that changed on the RPO is because we wanted to block the down 4 and the mic. All right, so our center has to understand how to ID these things, and when we teach it, we go through with him how to ID them, and are we blocking the down 4 and the mic? Who's the mic? Who do we declare? So now when we're blocking the dart play reading the 5 technique, we're going to go one backer further over, and now we're going to look to pull up to that backer there. All right, on the front side, we're covered, so it's going to be number 1 on the line of scrimmage, big on big. Number 2 on the line of scrimmage, big on big. We're going to take this outside slot receiver, we're going to run him on jet right here. The front side is going to block jet rules. Okay, so we're either going to block the corner or push crack the safety. We're going to try and get that guy on the overhang. We're going to take the tailback and we're going to arc him to the first thing that shows in the alley. If he gets a blitz off the edge, he picks up the blitzer. The slot continues to run for the mic, overrunning on the motion. Okay, so we want to make sure we have the alley handled. Probably won't block one of these 2 defenders. All right, it'll either be their worst tackler or the guy that we feel is furthest away from the play. I like to block. I like to get the mic on overrun and the alley defender blocked before I try and scheme it up to block, get a hat on a hat for everybody. I'll take my guy in space making somebody miss as long as I get the mic on the run through or the hard scrape over the top, and as long as I get the alley player blocked. Now, yes, we have answers if the mic's going to run. We run quarterback power. We have some other answers, and this is one of them that'll help. All right? But I like to have the alley taken care of with the tailback. All right? The overhang taken care of with the slot. We can stalk or we can push crack this. Back here, we're going to have an access throw, hitch, or fade on the outside defender based on the coverage. So if they give us a loaded box and man-to-man, but they're 8 yards off, we can go ahead and just grab the ball, run the jet, don't tell anybody anything, take the quarterback and throw the 5 quick hitch out there. Okay? So we're going to go jet here. We're going to quarterback's actually going to mesh with the jet. He's going to shuffle for 2. So the quarterback will mesh with the jet, shuffle 1, shuffle 2, make your mind up. Back hip to front hip. Put the ball right here. Shuffle, shuffle, front hip, make your mind up. If this guy is a squeeze player, the ball goes to the jet, and we've got it on the perimeter with one of our better players on the perimeter. Okay? If this guy is an up the field player or he's just a guy that sits here, the ball gets pulled, and now the quarterback runs the dart play going back the other way. So now you've got the dart play, all right, going QB dart off of frontside jet. So now we've taken the same dart action that we blocked, all right. The only thing our lineman needed to know was, are we blocking the down 4 in the mic, or are we blocking the 3 closest to the play and the 2 closest linebackers to the play, leaving the backside end alone. 2 of the theories we read the end, 1 of the theories we read the overhang. All right, but it's all the same play. It's the dart football play, tackle wrap play. It's an isolation play. It really just becomes a double team back, and instead of a fullback, it's a tackle isoing on an inside linebacker. All right, so if you have athletic tackles, you like it. You can read the 5, you can read the overhang. Now you've got triple option football. You've got triple option football off the jet, all right, or double option football, my bad, off the jet. You've got give or keep off the jet. You've got triple off the regular dart where you're going to throw key screens. And then you've got dart RPO where you're going to take advantage of a 2 high safety structure with an overhang player. I say go after the B-gap fold player because he's a guy who's got to fold harder. And now you're going to block the down 4 in the mic, all right? And you're going to read that overhang. If he folds in the box, we throw snag, out, hitch. If he sits where he is, we give the ball up inside. All right, so there's the dart play, how flexible it could be. Again, great time talking to you guys last week on the on Twitter on the Texas football chat. Thanks to all the guys that gave me well wishes about the job and congratulations. Now I'm here, got to get to work. It's good to have a job. It's good to have a program. And just like always, guys, at this program, we're going to play fast because we won't play well until we learn to play fast. See you next time.